This is Phone Arena's video review of the new Motorola KRZR for Verizon Wireless. We have the KRZR on the left and the RAZR on the right. Most noticeable difference between the two phones is the size and the styling. Size differences: the Motorola KRZR is about 1/4 of an inch less in width than the RAZR, but is also about 1/4 of an inch taller than the RAZR. The front of the phone is a charcoal metallic gray. On the left side we have the volume buttons, speakerphone, and mini USB port. Battery is on the back. You take the cover off. This is how you gain access to the micro SD slot. On the right side of the phone is the voice command button. Top of the phone is the 1.3 megapixel camera. Center of the phone is the external display. It is very small, about postage stamp size. And then underneath it is the music control buttons. Opening the phone up shows the internal display. The size of the display is somewhat smaller than that of the RAZR. Despite its smaller size, it does display images and text a lot clearer without any jagged edges. Also, the RAZR had a problem where you had to look directly at the display for the image to look correct. On the KRZR, it has a much wider viewing area. Despite the display being a better quality, it still has a difficulty with being able to see and outside. The sun will reflect on it and make it very dark. The keypad below it has the 5-way navigational control with numeric keypad. Keys are laid out very nice. However, since they are metallic in nature, we have the same problem with them as the display. When using outside, it causes a lot of sun reflection. Accessing the main menu of the phone is done by pressing the center control button. Main menu includes Get It Now, Messaging, Contacts, Recent Calls, and Settings and Tools. There is practically no adjustments to be made for customization of the menu system. The only settings that can be made is by going into the display settings and themes. There, the only settings you can do is change the color of the display, which is default, business, tropical, and blue. One nice feature about the KRZR is the MP3 music playback capability. To access it, you press the center control button, go to Music and Tones, and My Music. From there, music is categorized by genres, artist, albums, songs, playlist, index, and shuffle. We're going to go to artists. From there you can access the particular artist that you want. Then it lists the CDs under that artist. You can then select the song and press play. While the song is playing, you can fast forward, pause, and rewind. Closing the phone will activate the player control buttons on the front. Those are bright blue and are touch sensitive. You have the same controls as fast forward, pause, play, and rewind. You can also skip from one song to the next. The only bad thing about the MP3 player is that the speaker is located on the back of the phone. Because of that, when placing the phone down, the sound does become muffled. A better placement for the speaker would be somewhere on the side or the front of the phone. The 1.3 megapixel camera on the KRZR, you can access it very quickly by pressing the camera control button on the left side of the keypad. This brings up the Viewfinder. You have several different options, including resolution, self-timer, brightness, white balance, shutter sound, color effects, multi-shot, fun frames, and you can choose whether to store the pictures on either the phone or a micro SD card. Taking a picture, once it's framed, is done by pressing the center control button. It takes about 1 second for the image to appear on the screen. You can then either save or erase the picture. I'm going to erase this one here. I'm going to take another picture, save it, and then take a following picture. Total time is about 5 to 7 seconds. This can be problematic if you are wanting to take fast sequence of pictures. Also, the picture quality of the Motorola KRZR is slightly above that of the RAZR, but is still not as good as other phones such as the LG VX8300, and is not nearly as good as the Samsung A990. Because the camera quality is particularly not very good, and there is no flash for the camera, this camera is basically used just for quick snapshots. Low light conditions is very difficult for the camera, so we do not recommend that. And video quality, since the low pixel resolution, looks very jagged with bad. Sending a text or picture message is also very easy. Pressing the message button, you can do a new message, go to your inbox, or view sent messages. You can also access voicemail, email, and mobile instant messaging. Going to the contacts, there is enough room to store up to 500 contacts on the KRZR. You can store in name, mobile number, home number, work, email address, assign them to a group. You can also assign a picture and ringtone, so when that person calls, their picture will be displayed on the screen and the phone will play back the ringtone that is designated to them. Despite the external display being very small and difficult to see, and the camera being of such a low quality, the best features of the KRZR are the sound quality of MP3 playback and the voice and call quality of phone calls. This phone has probably one of the best voice qualities of any Motorola phone since the StarTAC and V60 series. The only phones that we have tested recently that are close to the Motorola KRZR in call reception is the LG VX8300, which is about equivalent. However, the Samsung A990 does receive a better call quality than the KRZR.